I never thought my life would take such a turn. My name is Mira, and I'm 24 years old. My family wanted me to get married and introduced me to a man named Arian. He was handsome, well-educated, and came from a good family. When I first met him, I felt a little shy and nervous. He sat across from me, confident, smiling, and speaking so smoothly. The first thing he said was, "I'm just a simple guy. I don't just want a wife. I want a best friend in my life partner." His words felt sincere. With his confidence and warm smile, I had no reason to doubt him. Our families decided we should get to know each other for a while before finalizing anything. So, we started talking. Casual conversations, daily texts, occasional video calls. Over time, I started liking him. 1 month passed, then 2. By then, I had fallen in love. If a day passed without talking to him, I would feel restless. I would check my phone constantly, wondering if he was thinking about me too. One day, he told me, "You know, you're different. Unlike any other girl." I never thought I could love someone this much. And I believed him, because by then, I was already blind in love. But then, everything changed. One afternoon, my friend called me. Her voice sounded serious. "Mira, I need to tell you something important." "What is it?" I asked, feeling a little uneasy. "Do you really know Arian?" "What do you mean?" "He's not who you think he is. He's dating multiple girls at the same time." I felt like my heart stopped. I couldn't believe it. I argued, "That's impossible. He loves me." "Then check for yourself, Mira. Find out the truth." That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind was filled with doubts. The next day, I got the chance to check his phone. At first, nothing seemed suspicious. But as I kept looking, my hands started shaking. There were messages, hundreds of them. Sweet words, romantic promises, and flirty texts. But they weren't just for me. They were for many other girls. I felt sick. My heart pounded in my chest. I wanted to believe it was a mistake. But the truth was right in front of me. I confronted him. "Do you love me?" I asked, my voice shaking. He looked surprised. "What kind of question is that?" "Of course, I love you." I held up his phone, showing him the messages, the words he had whispered to me, the same words he had told so many others. His face turned pale. For a moment, he was silent. Then he tried to laugh it off. "These are old messages. You're overreacting." I let out a bitter laugh. "Old? Do you know I spoke to one of your current girlfriends this morning?" He was caught. His smile faded. Then, in a careless tone, he said, "Mira, this is normal. Every guy talks to multiple girls. But in the end, I chose you. I want to marry you." I felt disgusted. "But I don't want to marry you. I could never be the wife of a liar." He rolled his eyes. "You're ending this over a misunderstanding?" I didn't hesitate. "Number, I'm ending this because I finally see the truth. And I refuse to spend my life with someone like you." That day, I made my decision. I chose to walk away. My family was shocked. They didn't understand why I suddenly changed my mind. But I knew I had done the right thing. Maybe I loved him, but I had the courage to love myself more. I knew my decision was right. I could never spend my life with a liar. But that didn't mean it was easy. My family refused to accept it. They kept saying, "A girl shouldn't make such a big decision so hastily. All men make mistakes. Maybe he will change after marriage. People will talk if you break this engagement. Think about our family's reputation." I listened to all of it in silence. I wanted to scream, to tell them that I wasn't the one who should be blamed, but I knew they wouldn't understand. "I'm not marrying him. That's final," I said firmly. My mother sighed. My father looked disappointed. But I didn't care anymore. For the first time in my life, I was choosing myself over their expectations. The aftermath days passed, but the pain inside me didn't fade. The betrayal, the humiliation, it all weighed on my heart. No matter how much I tried to forget, my mind kept replaying his words, his fake love, his deception. One night, I received a message from an unknown number. My heart raced as I read it. "Mira, please talk to me. Let me explain." It was Arian. I stared at my phone, feeling a storm inside me. He had already explained enough. His actions had spoken louder than any words. I had no reason to reply, but he didn't stop. The next day, I saw him outside my office. He looked tired, his usual confident smile replaced by a desperate expression. He walked up to me. "Mira, just give me 5 minutes." I took a deep breath and crossed my arms. "What do you want?" "I made a mistake, but I swear, I love you. I don't want to lose you." I laughed bitterly. "You love me? How many other girls have you said that to?" "No one, Mira. You're different." The same words, the same lies. But this time, I wasn't blind. "Arian, if you truly loved me, you wouldn't have needed other girls. Love doesn't work that way." His face fell. He knew I wasn't going to change my mind. "So, that's it? You're just going to walk away?" "Yes, Arian. Just like you walked away from all the other girls you played with." I turned around and walked away, without looking back. That day, I finally felt free. The pain was still there, but it no longer controlled me. Arian was my past, and I was ready to step into my future. After that day, I never looked back. Arian tried to contact me a few more times, but I ignored him. He was nothing more than a bad chapter in my life, a lesson I had learned the hard way. My family took time to accept my decision, but eventually, they did. They saw that I wasn't going to change my mind. At first, some relatives gossiped about my broken engagement, but I didn't care. I realized something important. People will always talk, no matter what you do. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The pain faded, and I started focusing on myself. I worked harder at my job, spent more time with my loved ones, and found happiness in little things. One day, while sitting alone in a cafe, I looked around and smiled. I had survived. I had chosen myself over heartbreak, over society's expectations, over the fear of being alone. And that was my victory. I wasn't waiting for love anymore. If it came, it would come on my terms. But until then, I was enough for myself. Because sometimes, the best love story is the one where you learn to love yourself first. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.